Chairman Ikbazu sets up committee on virus management in Abia. We will not allow herdsmen to kill, rape Igbo again, says Ohaneze. Senate considers Army University bill. Nigeria Football Federation will allow Zakzi for errors. Hello, good morning. Thanks for joining us on MCL News Amazing Wafu. Now the details of the news. The Abia State government has inaugurated a committee on coronavirus to effectively launch preventive media campaigns, put machinery in place to protect vulnerable groups like school children. Headed by the Commissioner for Health, Dr. Joe Suji, the committee has Commissioners of Information, Homeland Security and Science and Technology, John Okikalo, Dan Okoli and Chijoke Madumere as members. Inaugurated by Secretary to State Government SSG Chris Ezem, the committee will also identify and prepare isolation centers in case of any outbreak, procure test kits and drugs, as well as coordinate with state and federal agencies. While inaugurating the committee, Ezem charged its members not to leave any stone unturned to protect the people of the state from coronavirus outbreak. He stressed that the Governor Okeze Ikbazu-led administration placed priority on the health and safety of the citizens above other considerations. Responding, Osuji said the ministry went to work early enough to put in place necessary preventive measures and establish response protocols in case of any outbreak, adding that the ministry already identified isolation centers in Umuahia and Aba while working on a top center in Abia North Senatorial Zone. He urged the people of the state to observe good hygiene, including regular washing of hands, clean their environment, and promptly report suspected cases to the medical facilities. The commissioner added that the ministry has already procured face masks and gloves for distribution to medical centers and will soon embark on preventive screening of people who visit government offices and other high-risk public places. The Igbo Apex Social Cultural Group Ohaneze Ndibo has warned that the Ndibo will not fold their arms and allow Fulani herdsmen to continue to harass, rape, and kill their people in their land. The President General of the Ohaneze Nyawodo, in an open letter to the Inspector General of Police titled The Road to Anarchy on Tuesday, said Igbo are ready and capable of defending themselves from any aggression. Odo, who narrated how two Fulani boys openly wielded AK-47 rifles in Anambra community and Commissioner of Police in the state refused to arrest the boys because they came from a particular section of the country. The Igbo Apex body, as the Inspector General of Police, is the bearing of unlicensed firearms no longer illegal and therefore punishable in breach in the laws of this country. The Tertiary Education Trust Fund says that 359 billion naira was withdrawn from the coffers of the fund without specific reasons in 2013. The fund noted in Abuja on Tuesday that in order to remove the 359 billion naira, it had written petitions to the Federal Ministry of Finance and the National Assembly and was awaiting responses. The TED Fund Executive Secretary Professor Elias Bogoro said this when he received members of the House of Representatives Committee on Tertiary Education, led by Aminu Suleiman. Bogoro, when asked to clear the area where the missing funds, said between 2018 and now, about 90 billion naira had also been borrowed from the fund's consolidated education account with the Central Bank of Nigeria. The ES said, under the guise of borrowing, if you add up, a total sum of 359 billion naira was taken out between September and December 2013 without any consultation. But with the Treasury single account coming into place in 2015, a lot of things have changed. Bogoro noted that 10 billion naira meant for high-impact projects in selected tertiary institutions had also been recovered from the defaulters. The National Industrial Court sitting in Enugu has issued an interim injunction restraining the members of the Association of Resident Doctors ARD in Esut Teaching Hospital, Parkland, Enugu from continuing with the industrial action already embarked upon. The court further restrained the action and all its members from taking any action in furtherance of the strike action pending the hearing and determination of the motion on notice already filed by the Enugu State Government. The interim injunction was issued by Justice Aroro Shewe upon the motion as filed by the state government on March 2nd, 2020. Justice Aroro Shewe ordered the resident doctors to forthwith stop the strike already commenced and immediately stop any action in furtherance of the strike or any strike till the hearing and determination of the motion on notice. The case has been adjourned till March 17th for hearing of the substantive motion. The Senate yesterday considered a bill seeking to give legal backing to the Nigerian Army University Bill, Borno State. Sponsor of the bill, Ali Nduwe, said the university was approved by the Federal Executive Council (FEC) in 2018 and has 39 academic programs in 5 faculties. Nduwe said the university was established with the aim of promoting research and advancement of knowledge and its practical application to military hardware and software. He said the university will develop middle and high-level manpower in the area of technological empowerment and will be supervised by the Federal Ministry of Education and the National Universities Commission. President of the Senate, Ahmad Lawan, however, suggested that the Army University be directly under the supervision of the Ministry of Defense. He argued that placing a defense institution under the Ministry of Education and National Universities Commission will create complications that will be counterproductive in achieving the core objectives of establishing the university. A senior officer of the National Center for Disease Control (NCDC) says that the medical personnel deployed to airports across the country to conduct tests on coronavirus lacked necessary working tools to handle the situation. The observation came on the heels of disturbing reports that the dreaded disease had snowballed globally, just as the Nigerian authorities had achieved much in ensuring that the disease did not have a foothold on the country. Speaking in an interview on the House of Service of Radio France International, Professor Issa Abubakar of the NCDC said, and I quote, "It is a great success that the disease has not spread to various parts of this country. Attention has been paid to the disease, knowing that it is a one-off thing." End of quote. He, however, cautioned that Nigerians should not be carried away and give any leeway for the pandemic to spread in the country, adding, medics from state ministries of health and the Federal Ministry of Health are at the airports in Lagos, Abuja, and Kano, among others, conducting tests and screenings. The State College of Health Sciences and Management Technology, ABA, has held its 10th matriculation ceremony. The event took place at the college ground. MCL News witnessed the colorful ceremony. Estandukwe tells us more.
Matriculation is the process of formally admitting a student to a university or college. During the ceremony, the institution formally welcomed 1,800 students for the 2019-2020 academic section. The event commenced with the procession of the staff of the Abia State College of Health Science and Management Technology and the matriculants. Director of the college, Professor Chidi Ezama, enjoined the new students to desist from unproductive and unwholesome activities such as cultism, examination malpractices, and other criminal acts.
The graduates of this college has the prospect of participating in the National Youth Service Corps, which was not there before. At the end of their graduation, in fact, they have 2 things they are going to get. They still have their professional license to practice, as well as that the ND, HND they'll be getting.
Other speakers at the event urged the students to be diligent in their studies and participate in all class assignments. They also advised the matriculants to attend lectures regularly and conduct themselves properly.
Students should face their studies seriously They can look away from Facebook and WhatsApp and in fact social media, which is a very high source of distraction for the children of these days. They will surely succeed, and so wish them success.
I'm happy the school is on the growing path. Basically, since they are getting their accreditations in all the fields they have applied for, it means the school is running fast, and the students should follow suit.
Part of academics, I expect the students to give very, very good examples. That they need to work hard on their books and to come out tops.
The high point of the ceremony was the administration of the oath by the registrar of the school. Some of the matriculants spoke on their expectations.
First of all, I would like to urge the students out there that being matriculated into a school is a very big honor. To be one of the best students out there and also make our parents proud, make Nigeria proud as well.
I want to give my best. I want to put my efforts and also my attitude towards the health work so that I will be able to help others.
The Abia State College of Health Sciences and Management Technology was established in 1948 as a school of hygiene. It later metamorphosed to a College of Health Sciences and had produced many highly placed professionals in the health sector of Abia State and beyond. Esther Ndugwe, MCL News.
Governor Okezie Ikpeazu has promised to provide all that is needed to enable other contingents in March overall best in the forthcoming National Sports Festival taking place in Edo State. Governor Ikpeazu stated this while receiving the torch of unity for the National Sports Festival from the other contingents led by the Commissioner for Youth and Sports Development, Emeka Ikwago, at Government House, Umuahia. Nora Okafor reports that the event will begin on the 22nd of this month. Here's the report.
For the state contingents to do well at the National Sports Festival in Benin City, the Edo State capital, they need to exhibit the highest sense of discipline and commitment. This was what Governor Okezie Ikpeazu harped on when he received the torch. He charged them to bring the unrelenting Enyimba spirit to the fore as they compete with other contingents at the event.
We are not just going to participate, but we are to win. Everything as the government to encourage our athletes, and we expect them to exhibit the highest and latest sense of discipline during and take part in various sporting events. We also expect them to exhibit the legendary characteristic of Ndabia, underscored by resilience and the ability to stay up irrespective of what the odds are. We need to still challenge, but we are sure that God on your side and the spirit of Ndabia behind you will surely triumph.
The Zonal Coordinator, Southeast Federal Ministry of Sports and Youth Development, Jen O, said the Touch of Unity signified the nearness of the 2020 National Sports Festival. She added that President Muhammadu Buhari had on the 30th of January received the Touch of Unity in Abuja and expressed the hope that Abia contingents, including that of other Southeast states, will make the zone proud at the end of the festival.
She's telling us that the National Sports Festival is around the corner, that the federal government is ready to sponsor this very game. We want to find out what Abia states, where they are ready, whether the athletes are on camp, where they have been training to make this zone proud, because it's now a zone issue. So that is why we brought this Touch of Unity, to allow the government of Abia State that the National Sports Festival is around the corner.
The Chief of Staff to the Governor, Dr. ACB Abazwere, Commissioner for Environment, Solomon Ogunji, and other top government functionaries were present at the event. Nora Okafor, MCL News.
Still to come on the news, coronavirus, World Bank pledges $12 billion in emergency aid. Heatwave, experts speaks on harsh weather condition. Details of these and sports will come your way after the break. Just stay with us.
With heavy heart, the management and staff of Loving Communications Limited, MCLtv, announced the death of one of his staff, Mr. Nathaniel Ogugwa Mwabulike. The sad event occurred on Wednesday night in February 2020. Until his death, the late Mwabulike, popularly known as Akuno Joto, was the studio manager of MCLtv. The deceased was a graduate of theatre arts from the University of Ife, now Obafemi Awolowo University. He was the creator of the program Frontliners, which metamorphosed into Front. MCLtv. The burial announcement will be announced by the family. May his soul rest in perfect peace.
Mommy, mosquito is biting me.
But I asked you to use top rank insecticide.
Top rank insecticide kills mosquitoes, cockroach, flies, and every other crawling and flying insects faster anywhere around you. NAFDAC approves top rank insecticide for its effectiveness. Use top rank insecticide and enjoy a peaceful night rest. Available in all shops and supermarkets near you in 600 milliliter can and 300 milliliter can. Top rank insecticide is marketed nationwide by C Success Multi Services Limited. Telephone 0813 111 2348 or 090-960-22577. Top rank insecticide. What's worth doing is worth doing well.
It's good to have you back. The World Bank has committed $12 billion, approximately 9.4 billion euros, in aid for developing countries grappling with the spread of the coronavirus. The emergency package includes low-cost loans, grants, and technical assistance. The action comes as leaders around the world pledge to shield their countries from the economic impact of the outbreak. It follows warnings that slowdown from the outbreak could tip countries into recession. The aid is intended to help countries to improve their public health response to the crisis, as well as work with the private sector to reduce the economic impact. The organization said it will prioritize the poorest and most at-risk countries in distributing the aid to counter the effects of the virus, which has spread to more than 70 countries around the world. The World Bank Group President David Malpass says that half of the package comes from the bank's International Finance Corporation, which works with the private sector. About $4 billion of the $12 billion is being shifted from previously available funds. The heat wave across the state and other parts of the country has continued to increase on a daily basis. This is despite rains experienced in some parts of the state recently. This has raised concerns by many on what precautionary measures to be taken to avoid being on the harm's way. MCL News in this report spoke with Professor Augustine Ezalo, Head College of Forestry and Environmental Management, MCLtv University of Agriculture, Umudike, on what can be done. Precious Eziwo completes the reports.
Despite the late experience of the Harmattan season and expectations of many for early rains, the weather condition has remained relatively harsh. This is no thanks to the much talked about climate change, which environmental experts have often blamed on human activities. Unfortunately, this change in climate has its harmful effect on humans and other living things. With main concerns raised by many on possible ways to manage this harsh weather condition, MCL News sought to find out if there are precautionary measures. Professor Augustine Ezalo of the MCLtv University of Agriculture, Umudike, speaks on the causes of this severe weather condition and its impact on individuals.
There are very many things we do that are causing more carbon dioxide to be generated. I can start with right here where we are. Should these lights be on? They shouldn't really, because we can do without these 2 electric bulbs being on at this time of the day. Because these bulbs that are on here now are generating carbon dioxide somewhere where the electricity is generated. There are several other things that we do that are unnecessary. I come to work every day in my car alone, driving a V8 engine vehicle. All that carbon that is produced, is more than should come from a single individual.
On the precautionary measures to be taken, Prof. Ezalo identified constant intake of water, keeping the room well ventilated, planting of trees and other vegetation, among others, as remedies to the harsh weather condition.
Why can't there be a legislation that says if you are given, let's say, 2,000 meters of land, that 1% of that should be dedicated to some kind of vegetation, even if it is a grass lawn. The grass will absorb carbon dioxide that you generate and convert it to oxygen. Consumption of water, adequate amounts of water, because as the saying goes, water is life. Life originated from water, and all of our metabolic activities in the body require water. Water is the fluid of life.
Parents are therefore advised to take proper care of their infants and young children at this time. This is because they are prone to losing body fluids through perspiration, which can lead to dehydration. It is believed that proper adherence to these precautionary measures will help in surviving this period. Precious Ezebo, MCL News.
Super Eagles head coach Kenneth Troy is seeking to convince Bayern Munich youngster Joshua Zirkzee to play for the team. Zirkzee, 18, has earned rave reviews for his impressive performance for Bayern Munich since making his debut in a UEFA Champions League clash against Tottenham Hotspur in December 2019. According to a report in France Football, Raw and the Nigerian Football Federation have started up discussions with the striker and are trying to convince him to play for the Super Eagles. Zirkzee, who is of Nigerian descent, has represented the Netherlands at the youth level. He has scored 3 goals in 4 league appearances for Bayern Munich this season. Exeter City manager Brendan Rodgers says Wilfred Ndidi is fit to start the Foxes Emirates FA Cup 5th round clash against Birmingham City tonight. The game will be his 2nd appearance in the competition if he features, and is. Ndidi made his first appearance after 4 weeks in the Forces 1-0 defeat in Norwich City at the Carrow Road last Friday. The Nigerian midfielder replaced Hamza Quadri in the second half. Rodgers confirmed that there were no fresh injuries concerns in his squad following the return of Ndidi. Meanwhile, Kelechi Iheanacho is expected to keep his place in the starting lineup as the Forces bid to reach the 5th round at the expense of Birmingham City. Iheanacho has been outstanding this season, bagging 8 goals and 4 assists in 16 games across all competitions. The game will be his 80th appearance for the Forces since he arrived in 2016. And to end the news, a look at our major stories. The state government has inaugurated a committee on coronavirus to effectively launch preventive media campaigns, put machinery in place to protect vulnerable groups like school children. The Igbo Epe Socio-Cultural Organization, Ohaneze Ndibo, has warned that the Ndibo will not fold their arms and allow Fulani herdsmen to continue to harass, rape, and kill her people in their land. And we also told you that the Senate yesterday considered a bill seeking to give legal backing to the Nigerian Army University Bill, Borno State. Super Eagles head coach Kenneth Troy is seeking to convince Bayern Munich youngster Joshua Zirkzee to play for the team. And that was the news. Thanks for watching. Please do join us again by 8 a.m. for Good Morning Abia. I am Izini Wafo. Do have a nice day.
MCL, the world in your home.